Right, so we've just started. I've just checked the comment section. So I've only got 55 comments. You see what I mean? This is why people like me, Stu, Matt, Tez, we all fall behind. 56 comments already. Welcome to Tub Thumpers.
Well, if I was you better catch up. I'll just sit here quietly for 5 minutes. You know, we don't want you to be all. Shabby's that late behind in chat.
Unbelievable. Hey, Si, tonight we've got ZSR or ZSR alumni on tonight, Si.
Alumni.
Yeah, look who's here. Here he is, look, he's had a bath, no mud on him.
No, it's all gone. Okay.
Hey, Darren, are you all right, pal?
I'm good, guys. How are you?
Good. You now, you're getting popular now, Darren, because you used to be a time you'd make the cameos. You were like the cameo appearances on ZSR, and now you're on Stews, you're on Shabby's, you're on Si. I tell you what, how are you enjoying this this fame that you've
My kids think it's bloody hilarious.
Really? Yeah.
It's not TikTok.
That's right. Look at me. I'm on YouTube. I'm an influencer.
Oh, I'm an influencer. No way. That's absolutely brilliant. Right. Well, I've now got you ready for this, Darren, Si. 79 comments. 79 comments. So let's just get through these bloody quick. Hang on a minute. Let's see who's come to see the lovely Darren. Let's have a look. Gaforce is here. Hello, Gaforce.
Good evening.
Palps is here. Hi, Palps. He was on that video game last night, wasn't he? Playing with us. Oi, oi! The subby massive
bad man.
Oh man, I was worried about Georgie last night, Darren, inside because I thought she's going to get so much shit.
How funny was Georgie on that stream last night? Really funny.
It was brilliant.
I hope she comes on every week.
Yeah, tell us as much as you can, George. Hi, Jonathan. Good old Johnny boy's here. Tony Z. Hi, Tony.
Tony.
Just to be clear, did it say bad man or bag man?
Real bad man from the Surrey Massive.
How did you enjoy it yesterday playing the video games, Darren?
Oh, I thought it was brilliant. I haven't had that much fun in ages. It was a riot. All of us sort of running around, not having a clue.
You didn't even know he was streaming it, though, no?
No, I hadn't tweaked. I hadn't tweaked it. So I went back and watched some of it this morning. And I was just in tears listening to us. It's just hilarious. We haven't got a clue what.
Oh, hey, Clue. Hey, Rob. Good old Robs, is he? Wow. Full house tonight, mate. Full house tonight. Rob, good old Robbie boy. Don't mess with Texas. Look back at that. Don't mess with Texas. Let's have. Oh, one of our pals is here. Good old Rhino's here. Hi, Rhino. Wow. Oh, hang on a minute. Who else? Oh, this is someone you know. Our Des is here.
Evening, Des.
Yeah, there's our Des. There's Cat Knight's here. Good old Chase is here. Hey, Darren, how big are your muscles?
No, not that big.
You meant to say, Shabby, where's your cup of tea? It's over there.
That way,
innit? Where'd you keep your toys? Over there.
Welcome to the gun show.
Oh, look who else is here.
Hey, he walked that quiz in last night, didn't he? Walked it, no problem. He's like,
oh my God, he was amazing.
Which I'm glad you brought that up, Simon, because I've got a bone to pick with our Darren right here. You know what you're laughing at, Darren? You don't even know
with me.
Yeah, with you, because you won your ZSR, and your actual words were, "I'm going to walk it. I'm going to win the whole quiz."
Yeah,
you did say it, Darren. You did say it.
I'll just say I didn't say which round.
Oh, Si, should have been a lawyer. Si should have been a lawyer. Do you know what I mean?
Just saying.
I did say which round. Absolutely brilliant. So yeah, there's a lot of people coming in tonight. Hey, listen, I'm getting a bit concerned, lads, because I've been watching these videos and so forth, and on YouTube, but I've noticed that there's a dark side of our community. Have you noticed it, Si?
I've noticed it lately. I keep seeing a lot of it about when people aren't looking. I've noticed it.
When people aren't looking, have you noticed it, Darren, around social media? There's a dark side presence.
Go on.
Well, I'm just saying. Well, I'll show you. You see what I mean?
Just like the Phantom Menace, you don't know, do you? 1 minute he was nice Martin, next minute he was Darth Sidious himself.
I thought it was just palps, but obviously not. There's a new Dark Lord of the Sith in town. Hi, TJC. How are you, pal? Hello, Martin. Nice to see you. Absolutely brilliant. But anyway, welcome to Tub Thumpers. So everyone knows our Darren. They've seen him on the stews, and obviously, if you watch ZSR, Darren's never off bloody ZSR. Do you know what I mean? He's on all the time, you know. So we'll get to know him a bit better. But before we do, hang on a minute. Let's just have a see here. Look who else is here.
I am the last of the famous international playboy.
The last of the international playboys, I think you'll find, is right there. Loads of other people have just turned up. Wow, over 40 already. You absolute belters. The lovely Emma's here. The lovely real toys here. Oh, wow, look at this. Everybody's turned up. But anyway, like I was saying, Si, let's get to know our Darren a bit better. Let's ask him 20 questions. Simon, would you like to go first with the most important part of Tub Thumpers?
Serious questions, Darren. 10 questions each.
I'm ready.
My first question: Bugs Bunny or Mickey Mouse?
Mickey Mouse.
Oh, like Mickey Mouse.
Like it.
Bugs Bunny kisses people and dances. Just saying.
Like your
I'm not sure what that. Kisses people. I mean, both of them are talking animals, obviously, Shabby. So I mean, I know.
I tell you what, yeah. It's like bloody Si last week. It's known for over 30 years I have this phobia. What was his question last week? What would you do if your dog... I couldn't sleep for a week. Looking at my dog shitting myself. Hello, Shabby. Oh, you know what I mean? Oh. Darren, important question.
Yep.
Superman or Super Ted?
Or Superman.
Oh, he's a bit fast with that, Si. He was a bit fast with that one.
I agree, though.
Yeah,
the Man of Steel, head of DC. Darren, Ewok or Wookiee?
Wookiee.
Oh, he's got to say
Wookiee,
that.
come on.
Been double fast with that one. Darren, Adam Berry or Adam Long?
Berry, because I've met him.
All right. Well, it's the wrong answer. The correct answer was Steph.
And I just to say he did smell good.
He does though, doesn't he? Yeah. All I had to say that actually, Shabs, he smells great. You know what I mean?
Yeah, did smell good.
He's the last of the famous international playboys.
That was a familiar question, Mark. Because my question would be, Darren, Kieran Ball or Bobby Ball?
Oh, Kieran.
Yeah, good lad, good old Kieran.
Every time. He was probably one of the first people to sort of, when I was in the chat on ZSR, that would say hello and would just reach out on the chat every week. So brilliant.
He's a good lad, isn't he? Talk about good lads. Here's another one.
Zooby zooby zoo, zooby zoo.
Good old Delvian's here. Lager or bitter?
Ooh. If I'm thirsty, lager. But if I want something to taste nice and have just a couple, a bitter.
Oh, that's a good. What do you reckon, Si?
I think that's a very conservative answer.
Not bad at all. I'm not bad at all.
Darren, rub one on or rub one off?
It depends whether I'm in the Wife's Good books or not, I suppose.
Well, how diplomatic.
Darren, Iron Brew or Iron Maiden?
Iron Maiden.
Oh,
I've tried Iron Brew and it wasn't for me. I'm afraid.
Baz, George Aiken, anybody else from Scotland? Darren's views do not reflect mine and Simon's.
No, I just said it wasn't for me. If you like it, that's
I'm glad
absolutely
my other house in Dublin. Darren, Susan Boyle or Travels with Jason?
Oh,
Travels with Jason.
Travels with Jason.
There's not much difference, though, is there, Si, really?
They're both excellent singers.
Oh yeah, they're both. They can sing. They don't really like Iron Brew either, both of them. So I've heard. Do you know what I mean? So they're not really big fans of it. So, Darren, Matt or Tez?
Matt. Sorry, Tez.
I'm sorry.
Did I answer that? I answered that way too quickly, didn't I?
You did, but the answer's wrong. It's none of them.
Oh, Shabby. It should be Shabby, obviously.
Yeah.
Darren, Linda Carter or Victoria Principal?
He's thinking about this one. About time somebody thought about this, Si.
Well, it takes some thinking.
Yeah, because on reflection,
yeah,
Linda Carter. So now, Linda Carter. But at the time, I probably would have not. She was in Dallas, so it was kind of like all that. She's in Earthquake. So it would have been Victoria Principal when I was younger. But now, a grown man, yeah, Wonder Woman.
There are always two. A master and an apprentice, but which one am I? Which one's his Palps? Well, Palps somehow returned, didn't he? Yeah. But apparently he's there's always two. And look at him, silly question. Second, obviously. Absolutely brilliant. Let's have a look now. Running in mud or mud wrestling?
Running in mud.
Well, yeah, I suppose, because you're a legend at that, aren't you?
Darren, the thistle do or the thistle don't?
Thistle do.
Thistle do.
Very nice. Darren, spandex or lycra? Are you thinking of your wardrobe, Darren? Are you thinking of your wardrobe?
It's just like lycra.
Lycra? Why?
Yeah.
Why lycra?
Running shorts.
Right.
Then you don't get chafing. Seriously, if you're running and you need the shorts and you need Vaseline.
I like the way you turned around to me and said, "Went seriously, if you're running like me."
Last time I run was 1997.
Last time I run was when the bailiffs were here. Oh, brilliant.
Darren, Everton's shirt or one of Stu's shirts?
Everton.
Yeah, you wouldn't wear one of Stu's, would you? Let's be honest. No.
I can't put it off. I don't know.
Well. I mean, Indiana Jones or Han Solo?
Ooh. Han Solo.
Who would you say, Si? Indiana Jones? We've asked this question before. Who did you say?
Well, Raiders is my favourite ever film of all time, so it has to be Indiana Jones, unfortunately. Even though Han Solo is quality in it, it has to be Indiana Jones.
That's a tough one.
Shabby, but Mickey steamboats with his willy.
He does.
Ian says Ewok. He reckons Ewok. Who and who? Palps and Martin. Mr. Long is a nice gent too. Look at that. I'm telling Adam. Tommy, look at these. Brilliant.
Rock on, Tommy.
I'll message you first, Martin, so you can come see. Oh, absolutely brilliant. Oh, look who else is here. The White House Library Mafia. Best behaviour, lads. Best behaviour. Do you know what I mean? Is it my question, Si?
No, it's mine.
All right.
Darren, Chippy T or Mr. T?
Ooh.
The A-Team, Rocky, but yeah, Chippy T.
It's got to be on it.
Chippy T.
Do you ever go to a Chippy T and think to yourself, I can't be arsed having a fish and get one of them steak puddings that are just dead mint to dive in with gravy on? Was that just me?
I think, obviously, I live down south now, but I lived in Nottingham until I was 10, and I was up there sort of around the area, sort of in my early 20s, so I've got a bit of a mix of both. So chips and gravy, mushy peas, curry sauce. Yeah,
see, he left the north, but the north didn't leave him, Si. That's what I was trying to say.
No, you go into the chippy and go for the scraps at the end of the night.
All scraps in Chippy Teas. Yeah.
Darren, singing or dancing?
Dancing.
Oh, my kind of guy, Si. My kind of guy.
So what sort of music are we talking then for dancing to, Darren, here?
I'm 90s rave dance, big time. That's my and 80s. I mean, you're saying that. I suppose 80s electronic as well.
Oh yes, of course. My last question will be: PlayStation or petrol station?
PlayStation.
Petrol station.
I
mean, you might be able to pick something up at a petrol station, you know.
Oh, yeah. Shabby has many a time.
That's not wrong.
Diseases, viruses, whatever. You know.
Well, dinosaurs, real or not?
Real.
What do you think, Si? What do you think?
You've not seen Jurassic Park. Obviously, it's real.
Well, that's funny because this ties into my questions of the week.
Oh, does it? Awesome.
Yes, it does.
That's absolutely brilliant. Before we get there, hey, Darren, do you like tidbits?
I'll say yes.
Okay, here's one.
In the tiki room, in the tiki room, all the birds sing word and the flowers croon. In the tiki room, welcome to our tropical.
Aloha once again. You know what? An integral part of a tiki bar is artwork. And more specifically, black velvet, baby. Oh, yeah. Ooh la la.
Oh, last week we learned about 4 gods. This week, from the Tiki Tidbits, we've learned that black velvet is essential in a tiki bar. Did you both know that?
No.
That just sounds like an excuse to put topless ladies in his bar.
Oh, no, he's Shabby's.
I love the pit helmet. That is superb.
Well
done, Scuba. That's brilliant.
Scuba's Tiki Tidbits. You know, we'll be back next week for Scuba's Tiki Tidbits. Brilliant. Hello, Gilster. Good old Gilster's here. Hello, those tub guys. Hello, George Aitken. Wow, 50 here for you, Darren. 50. Look at this. Unbelievable how many people have showed up. The lovely Zoe P.
If we need to get rid of them, we'll just start doing a movie quiz with Tez or the sounds.
Yeah.
Again, Darren's opinions do not reflect me inside. Tub Thumpers. You know what I mean?
I love his quizzes. They're brilliant. I just got no idea what bits he's playing. They're too obscure for me.
I don't know. He did a good job though, and like we
he does a really good job. He's brilliant.
Keith Knight, he does. What did he get? One wrong, and the one he got wrong was ZSR. I was like, "What the France? You've watched us for years." You know what I mean? Good old Zoe's here. Kieran Bull says mud wrestling whistling to Carter and Victoria Principal.
Mr. Bull's got the right idea, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has. He has. Indie, and I'm a massive Star Wars fan, says Ian. Well, yeah. Labby Matthews about
$5
books. It is. Oh, Scuba Pete. We've just watched the Scuba Pete's Cheeky Tidbit video. Very informative. Chippy T just can't be beaten, says the Library Mafia. What do you reckon?
We all agree.
Although it's been about 12 years since I've had a Chippy Tea.
Yeah, do you not get sad about that?
Very, very sad, yeah.
Do they not do like a chippy in America? We can go and get like a chippy though. Like mushy peas and stuff, and there's nowhere. There must be somewhere.
Yeah, when my mum sends those packages over.
Put some fish fingers in it.
Oh, MSC's here, right? MSC. I can't believe how many people have showed up. This is brilliant. Mudhorn says singing. Well, yeah, we'll have to start a band. Hey, Gab, Shabby, Darren, Cy, Scuba, Pete, G-Force, Keith, Kieran, Tony Z, Gilster, and Martin. That's nice of you, Gab. Say hello to everybody. Good old Gap's here. Georgie's here. Stu can pull off a pink one. Question of the week. Remember to hit that blooming quit button. That's not very nice, is it, Si? Anyway, I know. Here's question of the week. This is the part that's very informative. Our size scoured the universe and comes up with some questions of the week. Let's just get his intro music on. Right there.
There's something out there.
Well, Si, what's your question of the week?
Well, my question of this week regards what we've just spoken about, that dinosaurs never existed whatsoever. That it's just there's no such thing as dinosaurs. And then you've just mentioned Jurassic Park. But if you actually remember the film Jurassic Park, dinosaurs in that film were not dinosaurs, but they were genetically created, engineered monsters. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah. So there's no dinosaurs. So even in Jurassic Park, when they're saying the dinosaurs are roaming again, no, they're not, because it's genetically engineered.
Yeah, using what?
Lizards and mosquitoes,
and using dinosaur DNA combined with frog DNA, which is why they could self-replicate.
And none of them are dinosaurs. Not even a frog. Because dinosaurs...
just because you can't remake them doesn't mean the state doesn't exist.
No, they never existed.
Is the Earth flat?
No, the Earth is round. And the reasons why the Earth is round...
because it's round, because the dinosaurs made it go round.
No, because it took hundreds of years to convince people it wasn't flat. So that's why it's round.
Alp says, in Jurassic Park, they were mixed with frog spawn.
Yes.
No dinosaurs.
Yeah, but they're partly. But I would agree, in the movies, they are genetically engineered. Which is why in the latest one, you've got the mutations. So you've got the D-Rex and all that kind of stuff where they just keep making them one up. The Velociraptor was never real. That's a made-up dinosaur. I still believe that the bones and everything for the T-Rex and everything were there. They're real.
He's thought about it. He's thought about this. Do you know what I mean?
I buy into it.
He buys into it, Darren. Kevin Bull says they were created from dinosaur DNA, Si, you plum.
No, they weren't.
Dinosaurs were real. Look at Jurassic Park, the movie. Look at it was DNA preserved in amber, says our cat. He's so stupid.
No.
Rhino says, last time I had mushy peas in preschool, the lunch lady overcooked the shit out of him.
Bet they were tasty though, because mushy peas are more tasty when they're proper mushy, aren't they? When they're like just like slop.
And Simon says, I think if you serve mushy peas in Texas, you'd get beaten. Jeepers, I tell you what, tough those little ladies there, aren't they?
Oh, but they eat refried beans, but they won't eat mushy peas. I mean, that's double standards.
Double standards, I agree. So, millions of years ago, scientists genetically engineered everything. How could
Well,
we do
they
that
do
millions of years
say
ago?
history
Of the
repeats itself.
aliens.
And if you think of the Great Reset and the history does repeat itself, who's to say that we didn't create these engineered dinosaurs all them millions of years ago?
And where the France did big ass fossils come from, says our Rob.
Fossils mean nothing. Everything means nothing.
But
True
you know what?
evidence means everything.
Do you know what really happened?
Go on.
Well,
We've had this conversation 10 times.
we used to say we haven't.
Exactly. And we'll have it another 10. But we won't remember. Would you like the red pill or the blue pill?
Brilliant. Darren, brilliant. I can unmute now. Now the answers are in the chat, says our George. Yappa dabba doo, says Gilster. Our Claire says, if people see ghosts and ghost dogs, why has no one ever seen a ghost dinosaur? Good
Exactly,
point.
Claire. Exactly. I'm sure we've got a ghost cat in this house, my old cat. Because my old cat, right, he lived till he was 24. He was an old cat.
24.
And I've got a cat now, and I know like I'm blitzed all the time, but that's not included. But many times I'll be sitting here and I'll see something run past me and I'll go like that. And I'll be like, that was the bloody cat. But it's a ghost cat. Because my cat's not in.
What the fuck is 50 people just went, what the
What?
What?
No, don't do
Ghost
that,
cat?
like. Have you ever had a cat like before in the past and stuff, and your cat's passed
Right.
away? But swear to God, sometimes you've just seen the cat run past you in the house.
No, I haven't got a cat.
I do.
We've had
That's
cats.
Have you ever seen a ghost one, Darren?
No.
Well, they are, Si. So two against one.
But it just
fossils
means
are-
I'm not attuned to it.
Oh. Do you believe in ghosts and all that, Darren? I don't.
Probably not, but who knows?
Yeah.
Just
That your answer? Yeah.
Well, you then start going down the whole thing of like, well, if they're real, then is all the bad stuff real? Then you're like, no, I really can't be coping with the devil. That's just we're going too far.
The fossils are made up. We have something to dig up and find when we play in the sandbox. What do you think?
Yeah, see, cat knows.
We buried them all there.
Our key says dinosaurs so exist. My first pet was one. It was called Fido the Dino. Technically, palps, they're all birds. Were they birds? I know that I've heard about this sort of
That's the
stuff.
latest thing, isn't it? That they're convinced they're all birds.
Dinosaurs do exist. My ex.
I was waiting for someone to pull that one in.
Once again, Stu's opinions do not reflect myself, Darren, or Si on the Tub Thumpers. Brilliant. There was a band called Dinosaur Jr. They definitely existed.
I remember Dinosaur Jr.
Here we go. I've seen dinosaur tracks in Colorado, Si. Chief has seen the tracks. Who
Well,
else
did you
could
see
make
the
them, Si?
dinosaur walk past and leave him? No, you didn't. So you've not seen anything.
I mean, imagine it'd be the best conspiracy. I mean, it'd be better than the crop circles.
Oh.
Don't get me started on them.
I was going to say, Darren, shut up, man. We won't be here for. As soon as he said it, I went, oh, shit.
Two blokes with a plank of wood going around in fields. Fantastic.
Darren, you need to come on Sagsy's Science Show. This is where we talk this sort of stuff in depth.
I remember when Star Wars was originally released. Does that make me a dinosaur? What do you reckon?
Well, 77. Yes. Yes, it does.
Because people never had a pet dinosaur. Keith Knight had one, apparently, Jono. Keith Knight had one. Oh, I've got one of those dino in-laws too. Brilliant. That's one big pile of shit. What, the show or dinosaurs? I don't understand.
No, with this question.
Ricardo, I need to ask you a question. So, Darren, I know you're a happily married man and so forth, but before then, when you were young, Darren, right, you're handsome and you've wiped all the mud off you and you've gone out for a night out, do you know what I mean? And you've gone to the bar and, there's a beauty at the bar, Darren, absolute beauty, right? But you go up and she says, oh, how are you? And so forth. And you say her name. She says, what's your name? She goes, oh, I'm Ramona. Right? Just, are you or are you not going to turn around and go, shut up, Si. Are you or are you not going to go, my name's Ricardo? Yes or no?
Ricardo?
Yeah. We ask
No,
everybody.
That's the reaction you
It's a
want,
Tub
isn't
Thumper thing every week.
it?
Last week's, I'll give you an example. Last week's Tub Thumper said yes, he would say it. What's your answer?
No.
Ricardo, think about it. Where we're from, that's exotic. Where we're from, Ricardo.
I'll probably try and make some dad joke about the fact that she's a Ramona Mona or something like that. I don't know. Your name's Ramona, I'll make you Mona. Or something equally horrible.
Your name's Ramona, I'll make you Mona. That's what you're going to come out with, Darren. Instead of, hi, my name's Ricardo.
Can you tell I've been married 30 years?
Did you say that?
Well, I think we've got to know then. So that's 1-1 side already for Tub Thumpers season 4.
1-1.
Delvian says there are so few fossils due to process which involve sedimentary rock, and there are living dinosaurs, birds, and himself. Do you agree with that, Simon and Darren?
There are no dinosaurs.
No, you're right. There aren't any because they're all dead.
I think the merciless
But there were dinosaurs.
Oh, brilliant. But MSC says, I don't understand how dinosaurs are real, but dragons aren't. Aren't they pretty much the same thing?
Now, I believe in dragons because there's centuries of work to say why dragons are covered up. But dinosaurs, no.
But there's no bones for dinosaurs.
Just wing it, Emma. Nice, Skeever. Nice.
Well, actually, no, it was the same, wasn't it? The Chinese were digging up the dinosaurs, and that's what they took the bones and created the dragons out of them.
Or vice versa. They created the dragon and then just created the dinosaur just to put people off that there was ever dragons.
Red, blue, or blue pill. The problem is size taking way too many. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, dinosaurs roamed the planets. I think it's half and half side. I can't understand though, Simon, why you don't believe in dinosaurs, but you believe dragons existed.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
They're the same.
I saw a ghost that. Oh, no, it was an ex-go. That's Babe Station, Simon. My cat's got no nose. Thanks for that, Zoe. How does it smell? How does it smell?
I was going to say, she's setting up the joke. How does it smell? Yeah, fair.
So I had a ghost cat. It was the best cat I ever had.
Thank you, Jason. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I've had that.
Does the ghost of Dick Turpin walk, or does he have a ghost horse?
So yeah, that's the thing.
That's a good one. Yeah.
We do see a lot of ghost people, don't we? But we don't really see a lot of ghost animals and stuff, do we?
Oh God, that's brilliant.
Apart from cats in the house.
Oh, I'll be sat having my tea tonight, Darren, and I'll be going, Dick Turpin's horse.
Yes, you wake up in the middle of the night going,
oh, I'm sweating in. Brilliant, brilliant. Nothing is everything, and everything is something. What the France? What do you reckon?
Yeah, okay.
Simon's definitely got his hands on some good shit. Well, this is it. Yeah. Brilliant. I see things too. You puffs of the devil's lettuce. The devil's lettuce. Oh, brilliant, brilliant. Tony Z, I believe in spirits, especially Jack Daniels. Right. Des says, I do like the TV show Ghosts, both the UK and US versions.
Oh, I like the UK one. I've not watched the US one though.
Yeah, I've seen them.
Was it from Games of Thrones? Was in that one? Was it Kit Harington? Kit Harington was he in Ghosts?
No. But I've watched them both, and the UK one's a little bit better, to be honest.
It's a Horrible Histories guys, isn't it?
It's them guys. Yeah.
One. Yeah.
Dinosaurs are just a marketing tool by toy companies to make money off grown mean kids. Hi, John McGuire. Nice to see you, pal. Rhino says Dinosaur Jr. did a great cover of Just Like Heaven. Did they? I'd never heard of Dinosaur Jr.
Yeah, you would have done. That name rung a bell straight away.
Dinosaurs only existed, Darren, because Denver was the last dinosaur, and he's my friend and a whole lot more.
Who's Denver the dinosaur?
Adam's mate, apparently. Martin, next you'll be saying Transformers aren't real. Oh, well. Si believes in Bigfoot and aliens, but he doesn't believe in dinosaurs. What the brand? Don't make sense, does it? Honestly,
That doesn't make sense at all.
That's bloke dolls.
You just been too selective.
Oh, blow up dolls always remind me of only Fuzzy Noses, Pepsi and Shirley. Yeah. Oh, brilliant. Sharks are dinosaurs and tortoises. Do you believe in that, Darren and Si?
Sharks been around for a long time, haven't they?
Yeah.
But how long did they live for? I was quite surprised that the squirrel lives for 10 years, up to the age of 10. But on average, a squirrel's life is only 8 months.
Did you know a Greenland shark can live up to 500 years?
Yes, I have heard that.
That's nearly as old as Keith Knight.
Kimono dragons. I want to know I want to know more about this Ramona. She seems like that name every sleep game.
I thought that, Rob. The way you said it, somebody like Ramona. He did say it a bit casual, didn't he, Darren? We did notice that,
Yeah. I think there's a bit of history there.
You can walk the dinosaur, but you can't walk the dragon. Chasing the dragon, maybe, but not walk. Do you agree with that?
I definitely agree with that.
You can enter the dragon.
Depends how many you've had to drink.
Well, if it doesn't work out, Ramona.
Yeah. Crocodiles and alligators are technically dinosaurs, says Reddis.
No, that's rubbish. That's like me saying I'm Harrison Ford because technically we're both humans.
Because they're lizards, aren't they? Whereas, like you were saying, dinosaurs are more akin to birds.
Look at Zoe, the longest joke setup ever. He smells awful.
There you go. See, she was trying to set it up.
Can somebody kick her out the chat by any chance?
Shut the door on your way out, Zoe. Come on.
How should be banned from her own pub?
I've seen a real ghost in Scooby-Doo before. Well, they are, yeah. If it wasn't for those damn meddling kids.
Scooby-Doo used to be scary.
I used to love the emphasize.
Yeah, bloody real.
Ghost UK version's amazing, but US one couldn't get on with it. Says Adam. I've never seen Denver the Last Dinosaur. Have you? Why was he called Denver?
I remember Godzilla and Godzuki. Oh, there was a cartoon.
That, yeah. I was quoting the wrong theme song. Brilliant. Oh, quoting the theme song. Whenever I think of a British ghost, I always think of Jacob Marley.
Well, Marley and Marley.
Well, Keith really complimented you on your thing there, Si. Si's favourite dragon is Puff the Magic Dragon. He explains a lot. Scuba, but I would settle for Sydney Sweeney. You got a bit of a Sydney Sweeney taste there, Howard George. I don't know. She'd eat you alive, George. She'd eat you alive. Grimlock or Dino? Grimlock or Dino? Zoinks! Paul Keith Knight, he hasn't suffered enough being Cliff Richard's biggest fan. Grimlock all the way. There you are. We've managed to get through 80 comments and all down to the bottom. But we're here to see Darren. So obviously he's done his 20 questions. We understand that he loves dinosaurs. That he wants to make Ramona moan, which we also know. But what else do we know? So Si has scored the galleries, right? Si, you scored all the internet and so forth. What have you come up with? Si?
Yeah. Oh, plenty of history. Scored the Facebook and all photo albums a lot. Found out quite a bit.
You found out quite a bit. So let's see the live of our Darren. you go.
Brilliant, brilliant, love it.
While you were canoeing up the Amazon naked,
I was going to say one of those pictures was real. Can you guess?
I think it was the one with you, me, and Shabby picking up our swimming medals for going down to the bottom and grabbing the brick. I think that's what it was.
Oh God, yeah, with your PJs on, yeah.
Oh, brilliant. Oh, brilliant. Darren, Si, and Shabby won the Tri-Wizard Cup.
That's right, we did.
We did. When was that? Oh,
We've just seen it in the pictures.
it was so long ago.
Catch up, Shab.
We won that many trophies, me, Darren, and Si. I just fucking work out which one. You know what I mean? What? No bog snorkeling pictures? Well, that's for the next one. Do you have any Spice Girls dollies, Shabby or Darren?
Shabby,
I treat one of them like a dolly. I know that. They were all real. Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
All real.
Nowadays, you know what I mean? But anyway,
all real.
We've done it again, Si. We've gone up to nearly an hour, and we haven't even seen Darren's tubs. There's a reason why Darren's here. And the reason is to go through his tubs. So, Darren, let's see what's in your tubs.
So I've gone old school. So I've picked out bits and pieces. So obviously I've got lots of hot toys and Transformers and all sorts of bits and pieces. But I'll get first.
Pod Racing says, that real picture was the throne room. I remember it like it was yesterday. Yeah, you got that.
He found it.
If ever I need to be able to watch, not that I have watched it, because I actually quite like the special edition.
Right.
But I do have
old school.
My VHS.
Have you got a thing for that though? Because I've got to admit, having the special editions never bothered me at all, and I think I'd rather.
Oh, I love the special edition.
I think it's brilliant. A lot of people kick off, don't they? But, it's not the real one. The real one's probably shit.
I remember. I mean, I know which bits they changed, and don't get me wrong, the Jabba the Hutt scene. Yeah, okay, that's bad. Where they try. I mean, I know. I think I've given up. I think they've changed that like 5 or 6 times now in the thing, but. When they did the stuff with the TIE fighters and the X-Wings at the end, I just thought it was brilliant.
Yeah,
when they're doing the fights and stuff.
A new old.
I think I've got all 3, and I've got the. They did the making of one as well. Yeah. So I think I've got that as well.
I'm starting to think. I'm starting to question if Si is real. Well, he's got a point. I mean, I've never seen the two of them together, twins. I think not.
That's it.
He's been Darren like special editions. I'm never speaking to him again, ever again, Darren.
Oh, come on.
Over, yeah. But I agree. I've got to admit, I don't know what the big deal is. He's like these film critics. I yearn for the original.
You say that, Mark, but remember something, right? If you've bought the Mona Lisa and I've gone up to it and I've graffitied all over it on the background, on the walls, give her a pair of shades and updated that, would that improve on the Mona Lisa? Would people be happy with that? Or people would be saying to me, you've just touched a masterpiece there.
Yeah,
Other people would say, wouldn't they? Other people would say, no, that's how it should look today, and it's all done up to suit the world today. But other people would say, I've ruined it. So,
but I don't mind because I've still got the original one if I wanted to. So that's all right.
Yeah. So that's where I sit. I like the special editions because they did tie into the new ones, but I will always go off people's first creations. That's what I'll always go off.
Yeah, but all right. Well, let me ask you both the question. If you had the actual original one, nothing changed, all grainy, knackered, editing's wrong, sounds all off and all that, or the special edition, which one are you going to watch and think, yeah, that was awesome?
Special edition.
You are, aren't you? I agree.
Mm-hmm. I don't know there. For me, it'd probably be the grainy one that started it all off from the very beginning.
I've seen
There must have been a look for that, Mark.
What does that tell you? Well, it's like to think we're not real scientists.
It tells you that Amory hates a second son.
It's like Tom wants to say, next time he sees Shabby, we'll gut punch him and see if Si feels it. Not charming, Darren. Charming. You know what I mean? Special editions are George's original visions, but he didn't have the budget all the time. So I
those.
That's what I mean.
That's a good point. I think, it is him. I mean, it is George that went back and did them. He changed it.
Yeah.
So
TJC.
Now, there is that, Darren. It was the actual creator who went back to his creation. So, in that sense, it's like me going back to old artwork and filling up all the background 20 years later. And I improved on it, in my opinion. But did I touch something that I shouldn't have touched? Oh, it's hard, isn't it? It's hard, that one.
I'm glad you brought that up because Palm says there's a hidden painting under the Mona Lisa. So that must mean that Da Vinci changed to his original. How about
And I
that?
suppose some of the things that Da Vinci would have done. So, let's say that Sistine Chapel. I mean, how long does that take with Michael?
17 years it took him, that.
Yeah. So I'm sure he changed his mind as he went through.
It took him 70 years.
Yeah, 17 years, yeah.
17, I think he said 70.
I'm partially blinded because painting it, he had to put a plank of wood between two ladders and lie on his back to paint. And constantly, it'd be dripping in his eyes, constantly. So he did actually go partially blind by painting it as well.
Anyway, Darren.
Not just there for, dinosaur talk,
Anyway, when Neil Buchanan up there shuts the front up.
Heart attack. Get in.
Right, what's next, Daz?
Still on the Star Wars theme and still going old school. I have my Return of the Jedi little kids novelisation complete with photos.
What is it about Star Wars? What is it about Star Wars, Darren? What is it?
I just loved playing with toys when I was young. I mean, it was just this world that I could create and get lost in, I suppose. I mean, because you couldn't. Star Wars I would have watched on TV first.
Right.
Return of the Jedi is the only one I remember going to the cinema. I might have gone to see Empire, but definitely went to see Jedi.
I remember Jedi. Side, did we see Empire? I'm not sure whether we did we or not? No.
Never. I don't think we did, for the fact of being the age of 5. And my first movie, I always remember being 6 and a half and going to see Star Trek the movie in 3D. And that's always my vivid memory. The first film me and Mark went to see was with my dad. And when I say 3D, it wasn't like today's 3D. It was them blue and red, the little card things you put on. Well, that's the first film. So whether we went to see The Empire Strikes Back, Mark, I couldn't tell you. No idea.
No, but Return of the Jedi I do remember. But it's funny. Yeah. I ask people that because obviously you see behind you, Darren, and we all know who you are, and we know you're big into Star Wars. But I wonder why Star Wars has hit us. That's the one that's hit us most. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it opened. You'd see. I mean, it was sort of from a toy perspective, it was everywhere.
Yeah.
I suppose in this country it was big because also it was being made here by Palatoy. They had the license to bring it all. I wish I'd known I lived so close. I lived 20 miles away from Colville. When I was young, I had no idea that that was all being built just down the road from me. But so you sort of got into it, and then it was the whole sci-fi thing. You had, Buck Rogers, you had Battlestar, all those sorts of, even the is it Roger Corman with the Corman with the knockoffs for Battle Beyond the Stars and all those kind of films. There were just massive things in sort of the early early 80s, I suppose it would have been.
Would you put it down as right place, right time? Because like I said, if we were born in the 50s and 60s, we'd probably say that about Westerns, wouldn't we? Something like that. It's like we got it with science fiction, big time.
Yeah, and I think being the age, I was the right age for the toys. So that's where it sort of was. That's the hook in for me. So if I'd been 7 or 8 when Star Wars came out, it would have blown me away from a film perspective, but I probably wouldn't have had the longevity in terms of the toys and things, so I would have been growing up pretty quick at that point.
Ian says, I have no issue with as many editions of Star Wars he wants to make. I just want to make sure I can watch whatever. Now, that's a good point. Yeah, now I do agree with that.
That's true.
It's up to the person.
Yeah, the big thing about why can you not buy the original? Why can't you watch the original?
Well,
they should be able to get it.
Matt's collections here. I am Matt. Yeah, there was nearly up to 55 at one point today. So this is awesome. I'm really enjoying this. Thank you. I still have my Empire and Jedi books of the film magazines. Love the junior novelisation with the pic, says Tony. What about Star Wars?
It's just Star Wars.
He's got a point. It's got no point. Keyboard says Empire Strikes Back is the only one I have not been to the scene in the theatre. So all the others during the original releases. No, I saw it when the special edition. It was late 90s. Remember when the special editions came out, and I saw it then. So, and Star Wars is and will be an ever-changing world. It's good to have to have a touchstone. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that's a good point. CJC says, I hope you are collecting those Star Wars Coca-Cola cans. Yes, of course he is.
I've got the Pepsi ones from the prequels back in the 90s.
Oh, look at this. Right, what's next, Darren?
Still Star Wars, but let me just get. I've got two.
Nice collection of helmets up that top shelf there.
Thank you. I polish my helmet every day. It's good. One each day. So this is the. Well, I suppose it was. I think it was the San Diego Comic-Con, but this is the Black Series Boba Fett, but in the original Kenner colours. That was rocking horse poo to get a hold of and silly money, and it came out. I think it would have been. It was pre-COVID, so it's going to be. I want to say 2019. I think I picked it up at London Comic-Con. But yeah, that was sort of a holy grail for me. That was a grail piece to be able to get that. Really I know they've done sort of those 3.5 ones since, and I've got those. Yeah. But
so you had an issue getting that in the UK. You had an issue getting that one.
Yeah, because it was. I mean, in the end, I think who would have been there? Kapow, Comic and Cocktails, and In Demand all had it at the show, but it was right. I suppose sort of Star Action Figures would have been sort of. I didn't really know that the online stuff was around at that point, so you could see it on eBay, and they were going for like a couple of £100.
Wow, were they? Did you pick up that site? Did you get that?
No, but I love them foil card. The foil card on that's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I remember Matt had the Luke Skywalker one in the foil. Remember, and they foiled that, and that looked really, really cool too. Yeah, 50th anniversary is the ideal time to release the original, says our Tony. He's got a good point.
Well, they might do because they did the IMAX one, didn't they? Recently with
they just did one, didn't they? Untouched completely, wasn't
it? Yeah, Kathleen Kennedy came over and introduced it. She did. It was in London, wasn't it? I think.
Yeah, I think it was over there. Yeah, I saw the Empire in '80, says George, on a Saturday, very warm night in Glasgow. Battlestar Galactica: The Silence Attack was on the nearby ABC at the time. Look at that. That was not an excuse to play the clip. Of course it was. Of course it was. We should rent a cinema for a birthday and watch the original cuts. What do you think, Darren and Si?
I think we should, as long as we can watch Return of the Jedi twice.
Is that which one was your favourite, Darren, out of the original three?
Empire.
Yeah, mine's Empire. It's
just it's so no, it's Empire.
Yeah.
Even though as a child, it probably would have been Jedi, just because it was everything going on. But yeah, you can't beat AT-ATs. Not AT-ATs, AT-ATs, as we said last night.
We said. Well, I've never. Yeah, it must be a generation thing. That so the San Diego Comic Con Boba Fett is awesome, and our Connor says, "I never got that Boba Fett, and it goes for crazy money." So you're right, it must do. Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. They obviously got a batch. I mean, it's much easier now to get them because obviously you've got Hasbro doing what they do in shipping stuff into this country. But back then, that one was a hard one. And then the other one I had was just to go old school. Apologies, he's upside down. But that is my original. Obviously, with the name pill cut out because you could send them off to get the free figures.
Yeah. I've got one of my cards, my old Return of the Jedi Luke. I framed it and put it on my wall with the pill missing. So
yeah. Because I think I got.
Do you know what, lads? I never remember you had to do that.
Yeah, do you remember
that re-jogged my memory through this community was you had to cut your pills out as well, and I never remember cutting the pills out. But obviously we did.
Got Dengar, Rancor Keeper, and Palpatine were the three.
The only two I remember actually getting was Nien Nunb and Anakin Skywalker. They're the two I vividly remember. Whether me and Si got more, Si can't remember doing it, but whether we got more of them, I don't know. But they're the two I do remember. So
Anakin, I got from.
Question as well. Were them baggy figures classed as the last 17, or were they not anything of the last 17?
No, the last 17 was just the last release.
So like you said, that when you cut away, you got them baggy figures. They weren't. They're not like involved in the last 17.
You got I think the only one.
Well, unless if you say you sent away for Anakin, Anakin's the last 17.
But they ended up putting them all on cards. Northside was like Dengar and Neonome, all the ones that were carded anyway.
And the other one I got was you could buy. What was the other? Oh, you could buy. There was a power generator, a Hoth power generator thing that you could send off for, because they used to have a little. I'm remembering it now. They used to have a little catalogue. So there was a sort of a power generator thing. You could get a load of backpacks, Hoth backpacks for your troopers as well. They were like white and blue plastic backpacks that you could put on. Yeah, they came up with all sorts of things that you could mail away for.
Yeah,
and it was the usual thing. It was stick it on your self-addressed envelope and wait 28 days to see whether you get anything back.
I know, but waiting his kids 2 days felt like about 6 months, did it?
You might get something in a month. Yeah, who knows?
Dixon says, I agree with Darren. If it wasn't for the Star Wars toys, we would not be talking about movies as much as we do today. I 100% agree with that, to be honest.
Yeah,
I think I think it's the start of curb in its side. It's like when you meet a stranger, you say, how's the weather, whatever. It's when you meet pop culture enthusiasts, I think the first thing you go to is Star Wars. Do you not think?
I just got a thing that in the 80s, when we were kids, especially in the middle 80s, 85, I was 10. And I just think we had a magic formula of a great figure line and a great either cartoon or movie to go with it. Like the Thundercats was a fantastic figure line as well as a cartoon. Star Wars were fantastic movies. It's probably well as the best toy line. Same for He-Man. Do you know what I mean? I think we loved our figures because we got great stuff to go with them. Do you know what I mean? And you could continue these stories because these figures, God, you got so much with them, didn't you? So many characters and so many vehicles, and you could carry on creating your own story. So I do agree with that. Yeah, I think they're both hand in hand why it makes it so successful today. Yeah.
I actually have some breaking news. So we heard before about if our Des is going to be collecting the Coca-Cola tins. It might be a bit hard because his daughter tells us that he prefers roller cola.
Roller cola?
He likes
peanut bottle.
He likes roller cola. Does our Des, bless him, leading, drinking away? Do you know what I mean? Loves it. Gils said still hunting that. Now, Gils is in the same country I am, so it must be hard over here as well to get. Right, I'll have to have a look at that. And, G-Force likes Virgin Cola the best. Well,
that was a brand back in the day, wasn't it? Virgin Cola.
90s. He says, it was Man and Si's first movie. No, it wasn't Si. It was Return of the Jedi, wasn't it? So Empire
Return of the Jedi, yeah. When I've just no memory of Empire at the cinema. I remember Empire hammering it on video. Do you know what I mean? Hammering it, but cinema, no.
Yeah, best Empire Strikes Back, one of my favourite. Well, now that's a good way of looking at it because I was thinking about that, what Tony said. For fun and adventure, I think Return of the Jedi is the best out of all three of them. You know, for adventure, it's
the most complete, I suppose, in terms of the story.
But Empire Strikes Back is the better made movie. Do you agree with that?
No.
Fair enough.
No.
Return of the Jedi is the greatest Star Wars movie ever made. And for me, it's when Star Wars became stylistic. Everything looked so cool. Vader never looked as cool as what he did in Return of the Jedi. And you got the full Emperor, speeder bikes. Oh, I love it. Return of the Jedi.
Fascinating that you guys had to cut the name tags in. We had they had the General Mills sticker at the bottom. I mean, the circle at the bottom, didn't they? They had to cut.
I think we had to do both. I think we'd have to do the proof and the name pill.
Oh, I don't remember the proof one. Oh, I definitely remember the name pill because, like I say, my card here's got the name pill missing.
Yeah, I've got probably about 10 or 15 card backs still.
Wow.
Where I've cut all the names out and everything, and some of the circle bits in the corner are missing.
I remember cutting out the pill, says R. Martin, and received a Rancor keeper. They are the Rancor keeper, right?
Rancor keeper.
Yeah.
Nice. There's like 3 conversations going on. He's brilliant. There's Black Coke is great for a stomach ache. Brilliant.
Well, listen, the Cat's a nurse. You should listen to Cat. She's got good advice.
Actually, if there's anyone, she's probably the sanest one in that chat tie, to be honest. You know what I mean? Yeah. Weirdest thing in '82, it was easier to get the Attack Driver and the Boba Fett figures than it was to get the main characters. Was it? Wow. Star Wars will always be my favourite because it was the one that started. Do you agree with that, Simon and Darren? It was the one that started it all. It was.
It was,
Oh,
but
yeah.
it wasn't one that started on the roll for me. I mean, I remember everything about even the day of going to see Return of the Jedi. I remember what we had for tea. I remember buying Return of the Jedi stickers from the corner shop when we come home. I remember the two cousins we went with. I remember everything about it. It made such an impact on my life. So for me, I think the important thing with Star Wars is the one that made the impacts on you. If it's Star Wars, the first one, great, so be it. It's a fantastic film, but for me, it's always the one that made the most impact, and that was definitely Return of the Jedi.
But of that thought,
Delvian says, based on tonight's question of the week, it's obvious Si hasn't cut the pills out.
Not yet, kid. Not yet. I've been on the magic mushrooms.
Cat flat Diet Coke makes Keith go away. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Coke works well for me for getting rust off chrome.
so in
that's what
terms
it's
of
his stomach. Brilliant.
you're saying about sort of like remembering going to watch and stuff. So I remember we would go up to the cinema in town, and you'd go down the side to see the posters to know what was coming.
Mm-hmm.
That was the only way. It wasn't like no internet, not really in the papers about what might be coming.
Yeah.
And I know you like your favorite. You like that poster.
Yeah, it's my favorite one. Mm-hmm.
So mine, because it was on the side of the cinema, so it was like the thing that I was getting used to, looking forward was.
Yeah, so cool. Yeah,
and that's it's different because this one is the UK one, so it has the guards, and I think this bit here is different. So there's an American version as well, which is different. But yeah, that was a UK one that they did. That's my favourite poster.
That's super cool. That's really, really nice.
Yeah,
Awesome.
that is. I can hear Andy Lemire typing to you as we speak.
How much?
That's just a cheap reproduction. It didn't cost any much at all. But no, it's just that's my that for me was sort of you talk about the sort of the memories and the and Jedi having the interval as well.
Yeah.
It was where Leia and Wicket are doing their interaction on the log, and then you get the ice cream seller walk down the front. Anybody want ice cream and stuff? And that's brilliant.
Ian says an incomplete Jedi Knight from 83 remains my favourite. You know what? I agree with you. That's something we have in common, Mr. Mudhorn, because if I had to get rid of all my collection, I'd keep my Return of the Jedi Luke. I just love that figure. I always have done. He's just
maybe is his nose dropped off.
No, I got an immaculate one, and I've had it for years. You know what I mean? It's not carded, but I'd like one day. Like I always said, every time I went to Joe Fest, I always saw one carded. But I don't know. He's pulling that. I'm not one to spend hundreds of dollars on it. I'm not side. You know what I mean? Don't spend $100 on anything. But what is it? I'm like, no, I'm not. I can't do it. The Jedi training plaque was blue and the Hoth packs were white. Matt's collection says vintage mail away offers for Star Wars was Boba Fett, Boskny and Num, Emperor Palpatine, Admiral Akbar. You see what I mean, Si? So they weren't. There's only one of them really that was the last 17, which was Anakin. There was also equipment, backpacks,
Yoda's backpack, and the rebreathers for the Falcon. Yeah, I had that.
That mail away was the backpacks. Was called the survival kit. Says Geek. Right, okay. Yeah. Tony's favourite is Panda Cola. Brilliant. Hi.
That's why this community is brilliant. You put in I mention a memory, and then everyone else is like, oh yeah, it's this, and you're like, okay, cool. Yeah. Everyone knows what it. Someone is always going to know.
Yeah. I mean. When was the last time you heard of Panda Cola? And also, you know what I mean? Oh yeah, Panda Cola. True story. I do prefer crap cola to Coca-Cola Pepsi. So do I.
Fair enough.
So do I. Yeah. I'm the same way. You know, my kids go mad about it. But then again, it's like it's gone dead expensive. It's like 2 bottles of Coke's like $6 over here. I'm like, what the France? You know what I mean? You could get Food Lion's Own for like 88 cents. I'll get that. I'll do it.
Is Food Lion like your co-op?
Yeah, it's basically, yeah. Five, well, I'll put it down as 5 fair site. It's North Carolina. There were white backpacks in the middle. Yeah, there was. George Aiken says, I remember going to Blackpool on holidays and seeing Empire and Moonraker. They also had the Seawolves playing there at the same time. Wow, okay.
Seawolves. There's a film.
Jedi gets a rough time. It moves along at one hell of a pace, and it's a great end to the trilogy. That's what you say, and it's like you love that movie, don't you?
Love it.
How many times do you think you've seen it this year alone, Si? This year alone? I mean, July.
This year, Probably about 30.
Yeah.
Well, no, you
Well,
tell
the
us.
thing
Why.
is,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
draw a lot, and when I draw, I like something on in the background, and so I either go
okay,
back to
yeah.
old cartoons or old. So Return of the Jedi gets played a lot. Do you know what I mean? Because when I'm artisting, I just like something on. Do you know what I mean? So that's what it
Yes,
is
sir.
mostly.
Speaking of speeder bikes, Si made me part of Return of the Jedi today. I've never been happier. Oh, yeah. Jedi suffers from having those poxy Ewoks in it. I like the Ewoks, Darren.
I loved the Ewoks as a kid.
I always thought it's their homeland. They're gonna have
Yeah.
the advantage. Do you know what I mean? That's why
Just
I
to
always looked at it.
finish off with Martin's. We actually put that picture in, Martin, but I spelled Emperor wrong. So Mark took it out. But if you've got it there, Mark, just re-show it if you've got it.
I'll see if I can. I'll probably show it later on again. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
brilliant. Battle of Endor, Caravan of Courage, Return of the Jedi, great Ewok trilogy. I agree.
I went to the cinema to see Caravan of Courage.
Jedi is the most lore-heavy of the original trilogy and the result of 8 years of Lucasfilm honing their craft. Masterpiece. Look at that side. See, everyone's agreeing with you
That's
here,
right.
Si. Yeah. And then he says, while I think Empire Strikes Back is the best of the franchise, it cannot stand on its own. That's true, too.
Yeah.
Jedi needs Star Wars and Return of the Jedi, I think. Do you?
Hey, do you know what? I've never saw it like that, but that's true, isn't it? It doesn't
Yeah.
stand alone because you'd be constantly saying, "Well, what happened?" And
Yeah.
is it? Is
Who the hell are this lot? I don't know who anybody
Yeah.
is. Yeah.
That's right.
Paul says the USA version of that poster is bland.
They took a load of stuff out of it. Yeah.
And Rhino says, Coke cleans out my rusty innards.
Actually, just taking it back to the mud, Coke is very good. If I've been in the mud or in the water, Coke is really good for your stomach and get rid of all the bugs.
I've got to admit, I'm not going to tell people to rush to your Facebook page. It's not like Tez where he just
Not
put
like
it up. Unbelievable! Oh, that was great. Just putting me and Matt was sat there going, I hope he asked him. But some of those pictures, so Darren's got these pictures because he does all this running in mud or whatever, and he's got these pictures. I think it's you and your daughter, and you are just covered, absolutely covered. I'm like, how does he do it? And you love it though, don't you? You love all that stuff.
Yeah, it's good fun. Yeah, I wish I'd found it younger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sounds like some Adam Berry would do that. That's up his street, innit? Adam Berry likes that sort of stuff.
1983, says Gilst, was my favourite year as a kid, and 98 was my favourite year of being a teenager. I can't remember anything about the 90s. To be perfectly honest.
No,
I have to be honest.
Yeah. From 92 to 2005, I've no idea.
I think that's why most lads our age, our generation, don't do any toy videos on the 90s because none of us can remember the 90s. You know what I mean? That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say.
If I do remember, I'll break out in a cold sweat.
Agreed, Shabby. Kid brain, 28 days, more like 28 years. Yeah. As Darren got burglars. No, I think they were his kids.
Yeah, they were my kids. That's right.
They didn't disturb him because they know he's an influencer.
That's right.
They know. So,
what's next, Darren? Brilliant. I loved this Tub Thumpers. It's been great. Oh, Gloop. Here we go.
What you talking about, fool?
I love him. Brilliant.
Yeah, I loved these.
Now, stuff like this, is this stuff you've picked up in your later years, or are these you?
No, these are mine. These are my originals.
As a kid, wow.
Yeah. So I didn't, and I did have the O-ring versions as well. So the little versions, but yeah, these are. I haven't got those anymore, but. Yeah, they're still, articulation of those all pretty good.
The brilliant figures,
Yeah,
and
then I think I've still got some of the machine guns and things in the loft.
It's like when you watch VTR's video and he's got them all card backed and all like practically brand new.
He's got them beautifully.
He's got them awesome.
Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, squeezy heads.
Did you get the what is it? The 3 3/4 inch versions of them too when you were a kid?
Yeah, I had. Because just as a side story, so. Mum and Dad got divorced. I lived with Mum, but it meant we had two lots of different toys. So,
you were gutted, weren't you, Darren? He never got over it having his second Christmas.
But, I know, but we couldn't. But the rule was, whatever I had at Mum's, I couldn't have at Dad's.
Right.
So at Dad's, we had Action Force. So and Lego and stuff, but it was Mum's. It was Star Wars, Transformers, He-Man. So when I see sort of some of the Palatoy Action Force stuff, we haven't got it anymore, but we had, because it was me and my two stepbrothers, so we had 3 tanks, 3 personnel carriers, three of everything.
Sounds like George
we
Aiken,
had
all them,
the Justice League stuff that was out at that time as well,
Right,
sort of back in the sort of
Superpowers.
mid-80s. Yeah, that's it. So the Superman jet, the play set thing, all gone now, unfortunately. But yeah, 18 was definitely sort of one of the.
It's funny that what you said about Action Force. They were at Joe Fest. There was a guy selling it at Joe Fest this year, and what a blast from the past for me, because I've not seen that stuff for years. And he had it all the way. I bought one. I bought the SAS Commando. And it's just so nice to see all that Action Force side all out there. You know what I mean? And what a blast from the past for me. But yeah, I loved the A-Team stuff. That was brilliant. BOE says, I bet Shabby and Si have to wear shorts and Dunlop Green Flash when they saw Return of the Jedi.
Pony. Remember the Pony American football trainers?
Yes.
We used to flip down the front.
Yeah.
That's a good point as well. Ewok saved Jedi from being an incredibly dark movie. Do you agree with that?
So Jedi, for me, the one bit that as a child I remember is that bit where the 2 Ewoks get blasted, and one of them rolls over and gets back up and then tries to shake the other one, and they're dead.
Oh, yeah.
That destroyed me as a child. I mean,
I just like to remind you that you actually chose Wookiee on your top 10 answers.
I know. I just regret that.
Remind you there.
That's because of the trauma of that scene.
Oh, brilliant.
That was such a harrowing thing to watch.
Obviously, the speeder bike scene will remain with me forever, but it was the reveal of Darth Vader at the end. I remember sitting on the edge of that seat, shitting myself, thinking, what the hell is he going to look like under this? Do you know what I mean? Because you've always had that breathing, and when Luke's next to him, you get a different judgment, don't you? Because Darth Vader looks ginormous when he's on the platform and Luke's trying to get him up there, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And when he takes that helmet off, you see how big that helmet really is as well. And I remember that'll always stay with me. That brilliant.
Our Des has a question for Darren. Is that your collection room there, or is it a few pieces behind you?
So if I lift up, so this is my, I suppose conservatory, but we've had it sort of done up. So if I, so I've got obviously the helmet's up on the. This is most of my stuff's up in the loft, and I've got a few bits and pieces here. So Transformers.
Yeah.
Got one of those. You see. So I've got the Boba Fett and Death's Head, a few bits, and then what else we got? The Ghost. Some hot toys, and then some more Transformers and masterpiece Transformers, which I got into over lockdown.
Yeah,
and then some more odds and sods.
So when your wife turned around to you and said, "Let's do up the conservatory," is this what she meant?
Yes, because there's less. Oh no, I've forgotten. Oh shit!
You're here. We've got you. You've just froze.
There you go. I'm back. Oh no! Come on! Stop turning off.
Sorry, but we can still hear you.
Okay. There we go. So there was more stuff in here.
Right.
So actually, this has probably got 2/3 of what was in there before. What was in there before. So in getting it done, I had to take a load of stuff out. That was the rule.
Brilliant. 18 Amy's hard to get.
We've got friends coming. You can shift all that from the conservatory. We've got friends coming.
Yeah. But she did know. So when we met was University 95. So I just started to pick up a few bits of Power, the Power of the Force stuff that was coming out again.
Right.
And I can blame my sister because in Christmas, what would it have been, 94 or 95, she bought me the Power of the Force Han Solo.
Yeah.
So big, when they did them all bulky and muscly, and that got me back in. and that was like, so I collected all of the Power of the Fourth stuff.
So your missus is fine with your collection. She's
No,
no
she hates
issue
it.
with it. She does, yeah.
No, yeah, she hates it,
See,
yeah.
my missus is she's not interested, but she doesn't. You know what I mean? She knows I like it, so she just leads
Yeah.
me to it.
I could have it. Yeah, put it this way: it's there are other vices I could have, and I don't, so it's fine.
Well, so you tell us, but we've heard different. Me and Sally,
yeah, but she just looks at it and goes, "Oh, what plastic shit have you bought now?"
What plastic shit. The scene with the Ewoks makes me very sad, says Rhino. I cried. I swear he cried, remember, every time. And then King Chunk says, I agree with Darren. When the Ewok got killed, that was the best part of Jedi. Looks to be a good mix for display
Yeah,
purposes.
you've got a bit of a mixed bag on them shelves. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
I was 5 years old seeing the Stormtroopers and Vader overtake the Tantive and daily shit myself. Yeah, brilliant. What's next, Darren?
What should we do next? I know.
Yeah, great collection.
Thought I
Marvel
would do,
Legends.
the thing that I replaced Star Wars with was Transformers.
That was the next one for you, yeah.
So my original Soundwave.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
And then I got the they did this is a Toys R Us, but they did a sort of a re-release, I suppose. So then you had sort of a
yeah,
look at that.
not seen that one.
Sort of
Yeah, like a pop-up cover. That's weird, isn't it? Never seen that.
Did they chrome that one too? Was that one chrome in the box?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's chrome. Yep. And then I kept. So this is the first edition. So I was able to keep hold of. Really weird that I did keep, but yeah. So I've got issue number. I didn't get them all, but I got number 1 and number 3. But yeah, so you had the
beautiful.
All the stuff.
And again, I can hear TJC emailing away as we speak.
Yeah, so yeah, they still have these, and there you go. Like, you go for your subscription and get your Thundercracker.
Yeah.
And then they had the weird thing. The other one was obviously in true form. You'd always have like 2 or 3 different comics. So the other one that was in there was this. I had no idea this guy, but yeah, I called Machine Man was the one of the other story. Yeah,
brilliant.
Of course, it was Marvel. So,
yeah.
And,
but again, it was because in them early issues of Transformers, they did used to put the Marvel characters in there with them, like Spider-Man helping like Optimus Prime against Megatron and stuff. But it faded out eventually, didn't it?
So our friend Mudhorn has worked our Darren out. Says he can't possibly afford to have any other devices with all those hot toys. That's what.
Well, now I don't. So I don't pay full whack for them. God, no, I mean, otherwise they're horrifically expensive. So this one, which Matt mentioned the other day, so the most recent one is my Predator.
Yeah.
So he's from. This is a AVP, the AV Predator one. So it's probably about 10 years old. So pop off there. So yeah, so you've got a fairly. I just love some of the detail they put. It's like each dreadlock is posable. I mean, how mad's that?
Yeah, beautiful figure. They are the one, the hot toys. There's something else, aren't?
But yeah, I make sure I pay. I think my most expensive one I bought was $150.
Yeah, so you go the Matt way, don't you? You go Matt's way.
I watch the prices and sort of go, right, that's okay, that's roughly where it goes for. I see what the lowest one is on its weight.
I really hope the YOLO Park AMK Pro do a Soundwave. So, Sam, you've been buying those YOLO Parks, haven't you?
Yeah, and John, I think he might be around in the chat, but I'm sure Mudhorn, it's coming. I'm positive it's coming.
Yeah.
Certainly, Blocky is doing a couple of the bigger ones of Soundwave, aren't they?
Yeah, I've just got the Blocky's Action Megatron, and that was a great figure when that was all built. And what you got with that for £39, I thought was brilliant.
Yeah, you were impressed, weren't you, Simon, with them? I
do like the Blockies, yeah, I like them. Yeah, they're good. They really are a good build. They're good.
Mudhorn, I thought that way once. Then I saw Rocket City, Simon and Darren. I've never seen anything like it. Walking around Joe Fest with about 5 hot toys, loving it. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, that is a vintage image, isn't it?
So this would have been a pullout from a Star Wars comic of the 80s. So it's the AT-AT on Endor.
Look at that one, then. Yeah.
So that was on
That's
my. This
good.
is from my bedroom wall from when I was 8 years old.
Brilliant,
Wow.
Darren.
Wow. Darren, I have every issue of the UK Marvel Transformers comic from my childhood. Look at that. TJC's like, ugh.
Yeah, he's got a good run, TJC, hasn't he?
And obviously, from a Transformers perspective, that we diverged from the Americans, so we ended up with our own stories. So things like Target 2000 and stuff like that were UK stories, and we went off from the American.
But I think that's why Action Force does so well over here for exactly that same reason. All these lads that bought or finished off the G.I. Joe now move on to something else, and I think the Transformers people do it too. When they've got theirs, they move on to ours because they're a little bit different, and the comics were different, and so forth. Do you see what I mean? So just to carry it on, if you will. Yeah, that is amazing. Wow.
Just to show you, you can transform them.
Yeah, me and the lad saw one, a fully boxed one, and it was perfect for only $250 at Joe Fest. I went mad, I didn't buy it. So
I know that's £180 in our money. About 185, 190. How you didn't buy that?
Wow, that's an awesome one, isn't it?
Yeah, but he was my favorite. I think it was just his voice in the cartoon. His voice was just awesome.
Yeah,
but I think that was sort of
we all loved
just my
Electro,
favorite.
didn't we? We all loved Electro and breakdancing and shit. So but his voice just matched in with everything, didn't it? So you were like, yeah, Soundwave's proper cool. And he's a ghetto blaster. You can't get better. Do you know what I mean? Soundwave was like the proper cool Transformer, wasn't he? Cool.
Like, see where he did that.
It was cool though. I've always loved him because, as you know, Megatron will always be my number one. But Soundwave was the most loyal to Megatron. The most
Soundwave
loyal.
or Shockwave? Shockwave was pretty cool too. Shockwave was awesome.
Shockwave was a backstabbing traitor at times.
Soundwave was one of my favourite toys ever.
A little bit psychotic as well.
Yeah.
He had voices in his head that would tell him to do stuff.
Jonathan says Soundwave never got punked in the cartoon either. Always a badass. Well, yeah.
You know, like they always do Ralph for like the leader of the Decepticons, but you know, you could say Shockwave had a point. He could have been. Do you know what I mean?
He could have.
With his one eye.
Anything else, Darren, to show us?
Yeah, I'll do just for you, Shabby, because I know you're going. So OG.
Spider.
A couple of. And I couldn't even remember who this was, but
that's my favourite Masters of the Universe figure. That's my favourite one. Yeah,
that figure looks just like Man and Shabby's dad did in the late 70s, early 80s.
Cross between my dad and Burt Reynolds. He was just awesome. That's Rio Blast.
Yes,
that's Morris Blast.
Yeah, so I saw again. Adam.
Oh, you still got the belt on that as well. On that.
Yeah, got my He-Man.
Yeah,
that
look at this.
My favourite. Whiplash.
Now we're talking. Look at
it. But I was able to. So again, I kept all these in the loft at home. And then when I went to university, and then came back and got my first place, my mum, the first thing I did was went into the loft because my mum was threatening to throw stuff away. I'm like, you're fucking not throwing all that stuff away.
Go get it. Yeah.
All we had was a one-bedroom studio flat, and Sarah was so annoyed that I had all this toy stuff, and we had one cupboard that I just shoved it all in.
But it's He-Man.
What is this shit? He-Man. I mean, the cartoon was great fun, but again, it was what the first figures I got were I'd been away, and I came back from the weekend. My mum had bought He-Man, and I went up to my bedroom, and he was there on the bed. So it was sort of like a surprise. I had no idea, and then a couple of weeks later, I was away. I'd been away and came back, and she bought me Skeletor. So I then had the two. So it was kind of but it's only in recently that I had no idea that the two swords went together to make a whole.
Yeah, of course.
I had no idea.
Yeah, stuck them together, didn't make the one sword. Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant.
Did you pick up any of the new ones like Shabby Geek did, Darren? Did you ever think, like some of these new ones that have come out? You know, the Mold 2.
So I've bought the. I've got loads of the Masterverse.
The 6-inch ones, yeah.
Yeah, and I've got a couple of the Origins ones. A classics didn't really come out here. So, but I have got.
They didn't come out over here. What you had to do is Matty Creations. You had to buy them online, just like they do with Origin Mattel Creations now. So
I've got. Is it Strider? No, not Strider. I want to say Stavros. It's not Stavros. What's the wing guy?
Stratos.
Thank you. Yes, I've got him. Stavros.
But I mean, last week I've just managed to get hold of 28 vintage Masters Universe in a week. 28.
Oh, yeah, mate, you go mental. I mean, talk about going all in.
I don't know what it was. Excuse me, I don't know what it was. I think it was the Origins that did it, and I started to get into the vintage, and then you're watching Chasing 80s, and then it's obviously Scuba's pulling them out, and then good old Rob's Retros got into it, and I'm like, oh, I'm getting bang into this again. So I mean, and if I make myself bigger set, you can see that my room has changed. Everything's gone, and all my Masters that's over there, all of it is all winning. It's all I mean, behind me, just there's 2 rows on 9-foot ceilings that go straight down with Origins. I've gone bang into it. I just love the stuff. And so, it's but I'm going to make a big display and put my Eternity in the middle and so forth. So I can't wait for that.
But you got
Rio. Go on.
Carry on. Go on.
I was just going to say, talk about that Real Blast figure. Kieran says that's a construction worker from the village people, Darren.
I know. It's like, even I remember sort of looking at him in more recent years, thinking, what toy line's that from? I don't remember that from He-Man, but yeah, obviously he is.
TJC says Megatron was unstoppable for the most part. Shockwave was cold and calculating and often tried to undermine Megatron. Shockwave was killed in the UK comics by Deathshead, was he? I didn't know that. Hey,
and that's why I always say that Soundwave was the most loyal. Most loyal to Megatron.
So Super Awesome's here to come and see you, Darren. Rhino says my He-Man swords were bent, so when He-Man held both swords together, it looked like a two-pronged fork.
I think I've got one in my box here.
John saying, "Good to see you, Darren."
There you go.
Oh yeah, there you go. You've got a Rhino version.
It's got some He-Man tweezers.
Yeah, this is it. The 2 swords combined were the key to open the door of vintage Castle Grayskull.
That's right. Yes.
Thing of the thing, and you did it.
That's a memory. Oh.
So everyone's saying hello to Whoppy. Hey, everyone in the chat. Good to see you all. Sorry I'm late to the party. No, you have to watch it back. Darren's shown some awesome stuff. Talk about awesome stuff. Anything else to show, Darren?
Yeah, I can keep going.
Yeah. Plenty of time, yeah.
So I'll show my mask stuff in a minute. Random.
Nice.
Rambo.
Yeah. I never got into. We never had these as kids.
It's the only one I had. I didn't have any of the other figures. It was just Rambo. He came with
that was all that. We had Rambo. Do you know what I mean? I think we had a couple of others, but we didn't have like I'll see VTR with all this line and stuff. I never knew anything like that or anything. Or
Scuba bought that big headquarters at Joe Fest a couple of years back, and that was awesome as well. Oh, Star Trek. That was me.
Picture. Yeah.
Was it Mego that made them? Let me know in the chat who made the Star Trek figures. Was it? I'm sure it was me.
It doesn't say actually on the back. I'm just reading the back, so it doesn't actually say.
Yeah, I bet Charles or Jensen likes them.
Please keep going, Darren. Just try another couple of hours. You're fine, Darren. You're fine.
I've got loads of stuff. It's fine. I can keep going forever.
Thank you, John. Yeah, Mego was Star Trek. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I've got my so the other thing that I've got into when I was a child. So this was my first mask. So yeah. And I got this as a reward for doing well in my end of year exams at school.
Good lad.
Yeah, I think it would have been 10 or something like that.
Yeah.
Are you gonna get into the new ones? I don't know. The prices kind of put me off.
The price is pretty high, and to be honest, you can get it's like. Okay, it wouldn't be a boxed version, but for the same price, you can probably get Rhino not far off for the same price you could buy the new one. And it's kind of and the other thing I got thanks to Luke, where he did a review, and so there was a guy that did reproductions of the boxes.
That's right. Yeah. Luke showed them on his.
So I got this. I think it was like 20 quid, and I've got my original Thunderhawk.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, so I've got the bits. I've even got, there's one missile still there,
Yeah.
and the other one's there.
Look at this.
Yeah.
Look at this.
And then-
I'll tell you the truth, lads. I wasn't concerned, obviously not concerned, but when the new mask was coming out, I thought, oh, how's this going to go? Is it nostalgic enough? Did people play with mask enough? And yet, within 2 days on Star Action Figures, the whole lot sold out.
Yeah,
Gone.
yeah. And they're
So
trying to get you
obviously,
more
yeah,
stuff.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Jonathan says it will be very interesting to see the new build quality of the new mask stuff compared to the vintage toys. What put me off, Jono, was the fact that they started off and the prices were a lot lower. And then they went up, and then they've gone up again. This is in America, because we were talking to the lads in the chat about it. And so I wanted the Rhino. I thought I'd love a Rhino, because the Condor I've already got, but I can get them ones whenever, because they're 30. But now that's gone up to 35. But the Rhino now has gone up to $125 over here. And it's not the chromed one. If you want the chromed one, that's a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive for $175. And I've got to agree with what our kids just said. Is that nostalgic enough for me to say to my missus, oh, I need 107? I don't think it is. Do you know what I mean? So I love it.
Because it's not just that 170, is it? It's the rest of them. It's everything else with it.
Yeah, but our Luke also said, Si, that what they're basically doing is putting them at the same price as you can get the original ones fully complete at. So I'm like, well...
Yeah.
Now it's that. Do you know what I mean? If I had the choice, if I had $125 and I had the choice of either the vintage one or the new one, I kind of go in for the vintage.
And they ended up being quite a bit cheaper here. So I think Condor, I think it was down to like 20. I think you could pick it up for 20, £22. Rhino, I think, was down to 70. The normal version, not the San Diego Comic-Con version. Was, I want to say, 69, 70 pounds.
Yeah. That Comic-Con one was 102, so already it was a lot cheaper over here. Yeah, because one I was interested in was the Switchblade one, because I see all the lads with their Switchblades, and I've never had a Switchblade. So I thought, I'll get that.
I didn't have that
sold
one.
out, and that was only £50 as well, Mark. So it wasn't
$99 over here, and that started off at 50. Then it went to 75, and then the latest. Now I'm not sure. I don't know whether these are just big bad toy store prices though, because it hasn't been released anywhere else yet. And what Loyal Subject said is that it's going to be released everywhere. So I will say, while people are watching, so none of the chat say to me, "Shut the fans up, Shabby. It's a lot cheaper." At the moment, that's what the prices are. But
yeah,
and I think the I don't know whether they're sort of protecting themselves from if there's a tariff implication.
I don't know, because the tariffs kind of died over here, Darren, because this is what me and G-Force were talking about. They said that about the tariffs. Me like, well, what tariffs? That was all sorted out, but apparently not. Super Awesome says, I ordered the whole lot as one complete package deal, cheaper that way, about $50, includes a special edition set. See, that's a good way of doing it if you're going to do it that way. No chrome, different names, not sure. I'm gonna hold off because I do want them. I'll be honest here, I do, because I like mask, and every year I go to Joe Fest to buy a complete one. So I bought the Condor, then I bought the Piranha, and this year I bought the Bullet, and they're awesome to have. Don't get me wrong, but I'm always a bit like that about spending hundreds of dollars, if you will, on mask figures original, because for that sort of price I'd like it complete, or I'd like it, So that's why I was umming and ahhing about getting the new ones. But we'll see what happens. I don't Hawk Trek. I only know bits and pieces, right? So there's John. Darren, what is the picture hanging to your left, which could be to your right? It means on the wall. Yeah, that one right there. Oh, hang on. Sorry, Darren. Hold on a sec. I've done our side. Such handsome bloke. I couldn't help it.
Thank you.
This?
Ooh.
Yeah, it must be that, yeah.
This was home base.
Oh,
believe it or not, had it from years ago, probably 15 years ago. Just had sort of random stuff, and a mate of mine had bought one. I was like, "Oh, that's awesome! I'm going to get that." And yeah, just a canvas print, random,
Yeah, like stuff like that. Yeah, see it, pick it up.
I think it was probably a tenner.
Yeah.
I agree with that, Jonathan. It seems to be taking a bit of a...
But maybe, Jono, would this make any difference in price, Jono, of how it was like wanted in different countries? Like, did the Americans have more nostalgia for masks? Is there a bigger pull in America for masks that they can charge an extra $30, $40 on top of? Or does that not make any difference?
It's odd, though, isn't it?
Thanks very much. Thanks for listening. See you next week.
You're meant to be
Thank you. Good night.
professional, Darren. You're meant to be
It
professional.
is odd that stuff is actually cheaper here at the moment.
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, but then again, it's vice versa because sometimes I've got stuff over here in our size. I've pulled out like my multiverse for $8, and size like how the like those Return of the Jedi 40th anniversary ones, the big 6-inch ones that they did for Return of the Jedi. They were in Walmart for $8 each. $8, and then Steve
we don't have anything.
Yeah,
we don't have any bricks and mortar here, so it's different. You kind of wait for the Star Action or anyone like that to sort of discount them off, and they do it sometimes, but you won't get them in the stores.
Condor and Thunderhawk are both named normal, but that's it. Yeah, the other two didn't get the name rights back, didn't they? Which I thought was weird. So good old Adam's here. I go figure. Great to hang out with you too, pal. It's always lovely to see you. Lots of cool pop art in Ross, TJ Maxx, Bill. Yeah, we always get a lot. Do you still get that sign, Darren, over there? Like your pop culture artwork in these, your big canvases?
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
The range over here, which is sort of a bit of a home-based type Woolworths shop. They quite often have sort of something Star Wars, something Marvel, Harry Potter, something like that.
Go figure says mask is desirable, saying Darren, in Canada because we like awesome stuff.
Well, that's because the Canadians are awesome. That's why.
I think it's just Big Bad Toy Store getting the boot in while they have the US exclusive side, when the other sellers get access. I agree with that. I think that's why I'm holding. That's why I'm not going to race off and do it at Big Bad Toy Store yet. I'm just going to wait and see what, you know what I mean? See what everybody else does it as.
Over here, all of them got it, didn't they? So they could all sell it here.
Yeah, you did it all, but I think over they have certain things like this, like when Gem first came, I'm talking about Gem, but when Gem first came out, you can only get it at Walmart for ages, and then after a while, you could get it everywhere else. Superpowers did the same thing, and I think now that's only at GameStop or Target, one of them, So they do that quite a lot. Gap, that picture is a collection of images from Marvel vintage comic books drawn by Carmine Infantino. They are. Look at that.
Someone always knows.
Yeah. All right, we've got enough time for you to show one more thing, our Darren.
One more thing. Oh, I know.
Just have brilliant Tub Thumpers side. Brilliant. And thank you all. We've had over 50 all night.
I'm going to cheat. I'm going to the 4, but this. So, story for this. So, this is the. What would it have been? This would have been about 97, 98. This is. I don't know. Obviously, Matt got one, didn't he? He did that. He did the lovely sort of put it on the base and colouring it and putting the snow on it. So, this would have been a Comic-Con exclusive back in 97, 98. And I was looking at the time. I used to go to America. I sort of worked here and then was going out there for a week, once a month. And I would search everywhere for this and could never find it. I'd see it in a few shops, and it was about would have been 100, 150 pounds back then. So it's about 300-400 quid now.
Wow.
And then it was Toys R Us did a deal in the UK to start bringing more of the stuff into the UK. And I would go around all the Toys R Us in the UK trying to find this with my wife in tow. Yeah. Not my wife at the time, but and finally in Woking, I found one. Well, in fact, they had loads. They were all up on the wall. And there was this, and there was the Wampa, and it was $49.99, and this would be in 1998, and I wouldn't buy it. I was like, no, I can't buy it. And bearing in mind, I dragged Sarah all over the Toys R Us of the Southeast.
I bet she had the time of her life, bless her.
She went mental.
I know that feeling, yeah.
And she was like, how dare you, don't you dare not come home with that thing. I was like, well, okay, I'll buy it. But yeah, and then I've actually got the pair, so I've got the Luke, and I think the other one I think's got the cut off horn. So yeah, you can end up getting a pair.
What put you off them when you got there? What put you off them? Did you just think, I can't spend 50 quid on that, or what was it?
Yeah, I get really bad. And that's really sad to say, but I get really bad guilt trips about buying stuff.
I do. And
but I went all in for sort of so these were the sort of 12-inch figures of the late 90s.
Yeah, I loved them.
I know it's not Hot Toys quality, but some of them were bloody brilliant. I mean, even sort of the weathering and stuff like that you get on something like this, or
and I've seen a few photographers of the Hot Toys
Yeah.
buying these though
Yeah.
as secondary characters in the background. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To put them in the photos and so forth.
Yeah, and even
Yeah.
obviously Luke in his Hoff gear and everything. But yeah, so I've got in collecting dolls, I've probably got about 50 of these.
Yeah.
Sort of collected the range all the way through to Attack of the Clones. I think was sort of
some of them are worth a bit now, Darren, as well. So I mean, some of them haven't charged, but some of them have gone up in price. Especially the Han on the Tauntaun as well. That went really up in price.
Yeah, I've got that one. Yeah, so Han on Tauntaun was the first one, and then I remember I'd shown my dad, because my dad was out in the States at the time, and we'd been in San Diego for a convention for work. And we'd found a comic shop that had it, so I'd shown it to him, and I think it was about $200 in there. You know, it was expensive. Yeah. And then when I found them in Toys R Us in Woking, and I phoned him up. And it was like, Dad, guess what I've got? And he's my dad and he's thinking, Darren, you're 21. 22, you're phoning me to tell me you found bearing when he's in America tell me you found a fucking toy. What has happened to my son? I was over the moon. I was like, I got it. Yeah, that thing that I've been trying to get. I got it.
Brilliant.
What a great story.
I was so made up when I was so happy when I bought that pack.
It's funny though, because I remember as well the Biker Scout on the speeder bike, that big, our Si had it, the big box one. Well, that went way up in price too, because people were buying them up because the Hot Toys Biker Scout at the time didn't come with the speeder bike.
Yes.
So they were buying that version of it to put with it, and then people caught
speeder
onto
bike,
that. They were
I've got the Luke Skywalker. I got the Luke Skywalker speeder bike, which I bought in Vegas. I went to Vegas in 2002, January 2002, and bought this thing. And, I mean, I got it in my bag. You know, I took it all out, packed it, and packed the box and everything. And, brought that back. So I've got in the loft. The full size version of that. Stupidly.
Well, brilliant. There you have it. There is our Darren's Tubs. Loved it. Let's get back to the chat for a sec. Brilliant, Darren. Absolutely brilliant. I remember those non-Hot Toy 12-inch Star Wars figures, says our John. I was tempted to nab them, but the price over here was just nuts because Forbidden Planet wankers. I'd like to say on behalf of Darren, Si and Shabby.
Well, the thing is, Darren, you got that guilty feeling by, like, I can't spend my money on that. But if you'd have left that shop without it, you'd have never forgiven yourself. You'd have never forgiven yourself. So it works a bit, levels out of it, doesn't it, really? You get feel guilty, but it doesn't last long, does it?
Yeah, I've gone through times where I've, when we, I bought sort of the odd figure here and there. It's only really sort of in the last sort of 5 or 6 years that I've really sort of been able to afford to go a bit more mad and buy stuff. But, when the kids were young and were paying for the house and stuff, we got the mortgage. No, I can't. I'd buy the odd bit here and there, but I really wasn't buying much at all for a long time.
Right. Yeah, when coming with collecting, common sense has to kick in, doesn't it? It has to kick in because it's beautiful stuff released every single week. That's my rule with Hot Toys. I have a few Hot Toys myself, but my only rule I have is don't buy anything I love. Like, I love the DC and I love Star Wars. If I was to buy one Batman figure in Hot Toys or Star Wars, I'm buying loads of them. So I try and just buy things that I think are really cool, but nothing in the franchises that I sort of really love, because I know what I'm like. I'm a creature of habit. I'll buy one, I have to buy them bloody all. Do you know what I mean? And there's no way I can afford that.
I'm just lucky, so I'm scared to death of me missus. So there's no way.
Well, yeah, you've got a gen. So, that's a good one, yeah.
Our friend Steve, also known as Lord Mervalda, asks, Si, are you going to the Toy Fair on the 19th Sports Centre in Blackpool, trying to get time off work for it? You all right?
Yes, I will be there. And listen, Steve, just message me and we'll work it out. I'm going, DTM's going, Claire's going, and so's Helen. So just message me. We'll sort it out.
because everyone else isn't collecting Star Wars again, yet we can't remember what we were doing. Yeah, I agree with that, Gilsey. I really do, pal. Let's have a look. They are great, Darren. Yeah, everyone's loving your stuff, Darren, here.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Because Darren is tighter than a Tauntaun's butt.
I like a deal.
Cheers, Oppie. Awesome collection, Darren. Another great live stream later, all. Cheers,
Thank you.
Ops. I really get a bad guilt trip when I don't buy toys, says Geek Strong.
Yeah, you always feel like something missing if you go a month, don't you? You always think, hang on a minute, something
Yes.
missing it. Where's the postman at my door tutting again because he's got parcels?
G4 says, Kieran, while I give you credit for knowing many things, the grip strength of the Tauntaun's finger was not on my finger, God. Oh, brilliant. Love seeing all those non-related Star Wars items, Darren. Yeah. Been breaking my rule, having it find it in person to purchase it. My wallet's hate. Yeah, you've been on eBay, haven't you? G-Force has got into and I know Scuba and Jeffers and a lot of people like Fisher Price Adventure people, and I'd love to get back into that myself. I know G-Force is getting back into it. So
I need to go and have a word with my mum because I don't know if she's kept it, but I had the shark boat with the cage, which is obviously inspired by Jaws.
Yeah.
I had the helicopter with the cage and the octopus. I had loads of bits and pieces for that.
Well, let's hope she still has it. Let's hope she still has it.
I hope so.
For expensive like hot toys, I choose a theme, says our Sags. Like I'm only doing the troopers at one time, for example, each armor type.
I did start that way. And then I've now got Captain America, Iron Man, and Predator. It's kind of gets a bit difficult.
We've been absolutely blown away by your tub tonight. But would you? This is going to sound weird. Would you like to be blown away?
Well, there we go then.
I never thought about that, did you? Well, Darren, prepare to get blown. Here we go. So this is I don't know what we're going to see, Darren. So let's make him big. What is the magic of the mind this week, our Si?
Well, as you know, I have a helper, and he's called Colin Graham, and he's a little magic cockroach. At the moment, he's away, but he is in the other dimension. But he's sending me through the dimensions a message for the chat.
Right, okay.
And he's sending it me through the magic hat. So, as you can see, there's nothing in my hat. Nothing
no expense there, Si. Look at that.
Nothing in my hat whatsoever.
Right.
But through the magic of dimension, Colin Graham is going to leave the chat a message. Show you that.
Right.
Oh, it's here. Message for the chat is here. Colin Graham sent it.
Right. Right. The chat, right? Look at this, Darren, eh? Look at this.
Sit in the app.
Yay!
Oh. What is he saying? What did he do? Right.
Brilliant, well done.
Thank you.
That whole story, Colin, on holiday.
No, see, there was nothing in the hat. Through teleportation, Colin sent me a letter just for his chat.
I like the fact that the chat are all confused whether you were saying dimension or dementia.
Doesn't matter.
Prepared to be astounded.
It's all magic.
It's like going to make a dinosaur appear. Mystic Sky.
Thank you, Kieran. Thank you.
Say magic.
I might as well have done. Thank you.
Shallow hat? No, real magic. G-Force.
It was teleporting.
Hang on, let me just make you big, Si. Show him, Si.
Well, it was teleported through my hat. The letter.
He's Shazam.
Sorry, Colin. Can't please them all, Colin. Can't please them all.
Magic. My mind is blown. It's real. So yeah.
Thanks, Keith John.
Sweeney Todd wants his hat back, Si.
It's my magic hat.
Is that a Witchfinder General's hat? Brilliant.
It's my magic hat.
Amazing. How does he do it? Who knows, John? This is what I mean. 44 episodes of just blowing everyone away. Brilliant. A crummy commercial. Gerard. Beautiful.
Thank you, Gerard. Thank you.
You've all just been fingered by Magic Si.
Shazam.
Well. Our dares now. That's magic.
Thank you.
Coach has some same handwriting as last week's trick.
Yeah, he writes all my letters.
Letters. Look at this. Total bollocks. Can't please everyone, Si. You can't believe it.
Obviously not.
Kieran, get
Obviously,
off that fence. Come on.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Kieran's an unbeliever.
Simon, the jealousy that surrounds your gift.
Kieran
Simon,
has just booted his magic set right across the room, Annie. I've just heard him do it.
Astounding stuff. Kills there. How come Colin's got Si's handwriting?
He hasn't. He writes all my letters.
Yeah. You got that quote from A Christmas Story. Coach has a wonderful handwriting. Mind blown. See, Gil's mind blown.
Next week he's actually back from his holidays next week, and there'll be a gallery of where he's been. So there'll be a gallery of Colin Graham next week from his holidays.
I can't believe Colin would be such a bastard to make us all wonder what to see this.
It's Colin's favourite show. He's a big fan of Mac. What can you say?
Well, there you have it. Well, anyway, there's Tub Thumpers Part 44 with our lovely Darren. I've loved it. You've shown some awesome stuff. Thanks for sharing.
Thank you. It's been brilliant.
Absolutely brilliant. Yeah. Bring back Paul Daniels, says Tony Z. Charming, Si. Charming.
What do you need Paul Daniels for, Tony?
Good on the
2025, you've got Si, the Sorcerer Supreme.
Yeah. The flaw with this trick, says Mr. Redmond, is that Shabby and Si expect us to believe that a cut coach will be bothered to answer CSR. The new Paul Daniels are going to like this. Not a lot. Hard crowd, Si, hard crowd. Cheers, Q. Thanks, my pal. Latest Shabby and Si. You could just watch the USR instead. You're never going to live that down, are you, Keith? You're never going to live that down. Anyway, before we go, would you like to hear Shabby's Dance Fridays on a Monday?
I would love to.
Here we go.
Blue Spanish eyes, teardrops are falling from your Spanish eyes.
Did somebody before say dimension?
And he said, I'm gullible.
This is not a dementia advert. This is true life.
At least the real talent has arrived.
Well, it's an angel, kid.
It's an advert for caring community, isn't it?
I thought it was an advert for kitchen utensils.
Carry twig, Careful, you'll strain.
We've pulled about 3 already. Voice of an angel.
Shabby, you're getting used to that old oldies record. Yeah, I said dementia.
That made me laugh.
What happened to the spatula, Shabby? I've gone up, upgraded. Next week there'll be something different. Brilliant. Great collection, Darren. I hope to see you on Red Dead 2 on Sunday. Are you getting it, Darren?
Yeah.
Are you going to come and play with us?
I'll have to now, won't I? I can't. I'll be rubbish, but that's fine.
Oh, it's great, Red Dead. We have a right laugh.
I was going to leave, says Ricardo, but I had to watch Shabby's karaoke. Well, there you are.
Absolutely.
Yeah. This is a song in Shab's head when he when he introduces it. What's out for the other? What's out for the other? The voice I'm sweet. Well, it's a gift I want to share, John. It's a gift. Hasta la vista, baby. Well, F me. This makes nice magic drink look amazing. Charming, Darren. Do you know what I mean? Cheers. Hey, Debbie McGee, what attracted you to Sai? Someone throw the bands on the stage for that one. Beautiful. Thank you, Keith. Thank you. I just wanted to throw my wife once. It was Shabby. Just this Sunday morning. Stay tuned next week. Next week's song, I've been requested next week's song, Darren.
Who's requested it?
I will just say the lovely Delvian has requested it next week. So next week, there'll be a request. Great stream. Yeah, absolutely brilliant. Thank you, Darren. Thank you to Sai.
Thank you, guys.
Night, lads. We'll see you all next week. See ya.
Cheers, everyone.